Are you my woman or Rob's woman?
Why are you so, like, no, aggressive?
I'm not aggressive, you know that.
I don't like your energy.
I can tell you right now, I don't think I've ever disliked somebody more than Rob at this point. Yes.
I'm beat you.
No,
All right, come on.
I'm
Let's go get the charger. We'll find it.
Boy, this episode was off the scale. Honestly, it was one of the best I've seen in a long time. Considering most of these guys have only known each other for a matter of days, things have gone from 0 to 100 real fast. So, let's pick up where we left off last week, in the middle of Tim, Jennifer and Chantel's screaming match.
Even if
You
it
paid
was
for a
true,
stripper,
if it was
to
true,
dance for me.
Jennifer, if it was
And
true,
you
it
already
was
said it's
7
true.
years ago.
So what the are you talking now?
Move the on.
Move on, says Tim. Why are you still bringing this up? This is ancient history. Quit talking about it, he says. Tim is desperate for Jennifer to drop this because he says he doesn't want her to ruin his entire stay here. Like, if this continues, he says, I'm actually going to leave early. I can't handle this for another 3 weeks. But that being the case, he should also move on. He needs to also stop talking about her. Like, they both just need to stay away from each other and start acting like adults. But Tim is very keen to set the record straight.
Yeah, I bought Jen a lap dance, okay? Because she had never been to a strip club. It's just me trying to be the cool boyfriend. But, like, I'm not bisexual, not gay.
Tim once again says that he's completely straight and he just wants to find a woman to spend the rest of his life with. I don't need these rumours about my sexuality spreading amongst all the girls at the resort, he says. So with the fight dying down and being broken up, Tim and Chantel walk to another part of the bar to debrief. But while they're talking, Cole, the guy that's getting close to Jennifer, decides that he wants to interfere too. Like, he thinks it's somehow his role, his obligation to confront Tim.
Hey guys, I'm gonna interrupt this conversation.
What's up?
Okay, I just want to understand what happened back there.
So, it's very simple. I don't want any drama here.
Did you approach her earlier?
Tim says that he doesn't want the drama, but he will protect himself from rumours that are being spread. Now, Cole just wants everyone to leave each other alone. He wants to get to know Jennifer without her past interfering in her present. And while that may be great in theory, I guess no one gave Jen that memo, because she now heads over for round 2.
To do with your life and just complaining about nothing?
But give us a second. It's okay.
Okay, a second.
Will you please give me, your 10 seconds? You know how long those are? You
Okay.
go take 20 of those, okay?
Do you know how long 10 seconds are? Really? I mean, talk about patronizing. Look, while I understand that Cole is just trying to de-escalate the situation, this isn't his fight. It's not his place to be doing this. Like, the way he's acting, he obviously sees himself as the white knight riding in to defend his woman's honour. He thinks he's solving all of Jen's problems for her, but this is going to come back to bite him in the arse. Now, we'll get to that shortly, but for now, the big takeaway here is it's just weird that this guy who's only known Jennifer for a few days is not only trying to fight her battles for her, it's actually going beyond that. Like, it's almost as if he's trying to set himself up as a barrier, almost, between Jennifer and everyone else.
Like, is this guy for real? Bro, number one, it's super weird that you're out here acting like you and Jen are married. Number two, you have no idea.
Tim has no interest in trying to explain himself to someone who's clearly very biased, someone who has no interest in listening to his side. But by the same token, Jennifer is also over the way that Cole has acted. She's over being sidelined like that. Like, it's funny, Cole's actions in trying to be the saviour has ended up annoying everyone even more. Like, it's reignited tensions, and as Jennifer heads back over, once again, the fight reignites.
Behavior.
Get the out of my face. Calm down, speak like a
Out of my
person.
face.
Yeah, but you're the one that's like screaming. Shut the up.
Adult. fault.
Tim doesn't like Jennifer telling everyone that he might be gay, and she doesn't like him telling everyone that she's a gold digger. Like, these two are just never gonna get along. They're never gonna see their past in the same way. At this point, they really just need to leave each other alone, but the genius thing is, thanks to the producers of this show, we all know it's not going to be possible in such confined space to leave each other alone. Mark my words, this isn't over yet. In fact, the only way for this to be over is for one of them to leave.
All I can think about is like, do I just want to go home? What am I doing here? Can I deal with 3 more weeks of this? I don't think I can. I think I'm gonna lose my mind.
So with Tim already just a couple of days in, already talking about leaving the resort and actually leaving the bar tonight, he gets in a cab and goes back. Attention then turns to Cole and Jennifer. But if Cole thought that acting like a knight in shining armour would somehow score him some brownie points with Jennifer, sadly, he's massively miscalculated.
I don't need anybody to fight my fights. The fact that he has pushed me away, I don't like because it's very controlling.
Now, while Cole may have done it with the best of intentions, he may have thought that he was doing something sweet for her. The truth is, this wasn't his fight, and the way he went about it was all wrong. In fact, Jennifer, rightly I've got to say, feels like he's already beginning to display really controlling characteristics. I won't put up with that, she tells the camera crew. I've been in controlling relationships in the past, and I vowed never to accept that again. So now, feeling annoyed at Cole, no longer feeling attracted to him, Jennifer decides to get her own back. In a very calculated way, she hits him where it hurts.
You sit here and I'm gonna get done to.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey.
Now, would it have been better for Jennifer to actually act like an adult? Actually tell Cole that she didn't like the way he treated her? Well, yes, of course it would. But this definitely makes for better TV. She completely turns her back on Cole and starts talking to Rob, who in turn eats it up. Like, he couldn't care less that she's using him. Like, she's clearly using him at this point to prove a point. From Rob's perspective, he's wanted Jennifer's attention all night, and now he has it. But even with Cole sat there, sulking, like sitting there like a chaperone, even when he taps her and says, the buses are leaving, we've got to go, Jennifer chooses to stick by Rob, but Cole doesn't go away. He doesn't get the hint. Instead, he continues to linger around them like a bad smell. And his displeasure is clear for all to see.
Are you my woman or Rob's woman?
Why are you so, aggressive?
I'm not aggressive, you know
I
that.
don't like your energy.
I mean, honestly, what a thing to say. Firstly, she's no one's woman, right? None of you own her. But secondly, you only met the girl a couple of days ago. Like, what are you doing? Does he realise how this is coming across? This possessive attitude that he has over her is all wrong, and it's seriously off-putting. And Jennifer tells him as much. I'm getting to know you in the same way that I'm getting to know Rob, she says. But make no mistake, what she does next, what she does when they get into the minibus, is deliberately done to prove her point. Like, she has no problem in playing Rob off against Cole.
Jen's like, Rob, sit down next to me. And I'm like, say less, all right? And Cole gonna come over my shoulder talking about, get the up, bro.
As they enter the bus and Jen asks Rob, she specifically asks Rob to sit next to her. Cole approaches Rob and asks him to, quote, get the out of this seat. Rob, backed up by Jen, obviously refuses. But does he get the hint? No, he doesn't. Instead, he chooses to sit right next to Rob. And as a result, Rob and Jen take their flirting to a whole new level. Within earshot, doing everything they can to wind him up, Rob and Jen get so close that they're practically kissing in the guy's face. Like, it all gets too much for Cole, and he gets up and storms off, dramatically storms off to the back of the bus. It's hilarious. Now, are Rob and Jen being mature? No, they're not. Of course they're not. But it doesn't mean Cole doesn't deserve it. He had it coming, and his own actions have now driven the girl that he likes directly into his love rival's arms. That has got to hurt his pride.
As of right now, the possibility of continuing to date Jen seems off the table. And I can tell you right now, I don't think I've ever disliked somebody more than Rob at this point.
Cole has been utterly humiliated in front of lots of the cast. He even goes as far as to say, I don't see myself continuing with Jen now. But back at the resorts, it gets even worse. It becomes even more cringeworthy. You see, with Jennifer and Rob cuddled up together, talking about spending the rest of the night in his room, Cole again approaches and does what's one of the most painfully awkward, major facepalm moments I've ever seen.
Come on, let's go get the charger. We'll find him.
I don't think I made a mistake.
Oh my gosh, talk about second-hand embarrassment. Mate, leave it off. Will you not get the hint? That half-warning, half-kiss on the cheek is making my skin crawl, let alone Jennifer's. It's just weird, like this is giving major red flags. It's giving all the signs of a man that can't read the room, doesn't know when to back off. Just look at Jennifer's face. This, for her, has clinched the deal. She wants nothing more to do with him, and Rob can't believe his luck. If it was a two-way competition for her affection before, it isn't anymore. Rob is now the clear winner.
And now this whole thing between Jen and Cole and then now me, it's definitely not ideal, but I'm not going to back down. So I'm gonna talk to the girl I like.
Now, here's the thing. Rob is going into this with his eyes wide open. He knows what's going on. He knows that he's being used as a pawn in Jennifer's game. But he doesn't care. He wants to be used by Jennifer. Now, mark my words, this will come back to haunt him. This will blow up in Rob's face. It's inevitable. But he doesn't care. He's clearly thinking with his little head and not his big one. The pair go back to Rob's room, supposedly under the pretense of playing Mario Kart together, but yeah, they're not fooling anyone. They might intend to play games, but Mario isn't one of them, and it really doesn't take long for things to get hot and heavy. Yeah, things begin to escalate really fast, and in fact, after going to the hot tub and then back to their room, they return butt naked and things become very non-suitable for work. Like, given that all the cast are aware there are cameras in their rooms, you've got to say these two are putting on quite the performance for us all. Now, when we join Jennifer the next morning in the pool with Courtney, of course, living up to her role as resident gossip in the camp, wants to know all the gory little details of what exactly happened with Rob last night. But, interestingly, Jennifer plays it all down. She's not going to admit to anything.
We did cuddle. Then turn right.
He was cuddle and he's like, oh, let me just put it.
No. He was actually super respectful.
Now, you can't exactly blame Jennifer, right? Courtney's the last person you want to tell any secrets to. But the problem is, as Jennifer talks to Courtney, as she explains her rationale and her logic for going with Rob last night, it becomes clear that another reason why she's not being entirely honest is because she might not be completely done with Cole yet.
It's not like I'm using Rob to make him suffer or something like that. I'm not that evil. I hope that Cole understands that he kind of like pushed me to open my possibilities here.
And while I'm not buying what she's saying here, right, it certainly looks like she wanted to make Cole suffer for his actions. Jennifer also goes on to say she intends to still keep her options open. And as the trailer for next week's episode shows, sipping champagne with Cole, her game playing, her lies and deception clearly continue.
Yeah, but at least you didn't need to watch
Yes.
us kissing.
Yes, absolutely. Thank God. And I hope that doesn't happen.